Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Purple Mortgage Guys, our Purple Friday edition. I'm your host, Brent Vandergreen, along with co-host Tanner Weber. Just two mortgage guys talking a little Vikings football, and excited to be coming with you, to you here for the Philadelphia game and our predictions for the week ahead. So welcome everybody. Thank you for following so far. We're only 3 episodes in, so continue to follow us. We're actually going to kick off a little bit of a contest here for a giveaway for some Jets tickets in December. So basically just follow our or subscribe to our YouTube channel and predict the score for the Eagles game on Monday night. If you're correct, we'll throw your name in a hat for drawing for 2 tickets to the Jets game on December 4th. We'll do that drawing right after the Patriots game on the weekend of Thanksgiving. So good luck to everybody on that. Tanner, kicking it off here. What are your thoughts after digesting the win and where things are at? Maybe seeing some stuff online. Still optimistic about the season, or what are you thinking there?
Yeah, I am still optimistic that the Vikings are going to be very competitive this year and probably at the top of the NFC. But this game does have me a little bit nervous, as it always does. I don't like traveling for road games on Monday Night Football. The Vikings don't historically always play well on Monday nights, and Kirk Cousins historically has not always played well on Monday night either. So hoping we can kick that narrative to the side a little bit and kick Philly around as well.
Yeah, it's one of those things like road games on grass for whatever reason, like the last, I don't know, 10, 12 years, even going back to the Favre days. Like I think a few of the losses came outdoors on the road on grass. So I don't know, new team, feels like everything is different. So maybe trying to pause on that a little bit and see if that's really the narrative going forward. But Philadelphia, man, reading some stuff online last night, some of the way the fans act there, like I've been to some road games and that's like a whole nother level. Talking about like, you don't even want to go. They don't care if women, children, it doesn't matter. Like they're just kind of completely rude. I don't know,
throwing
like
frozen
violent.
beer cans at you.
Yeah. Like, I don't even think the security and the police don't even care. Like they're in on it. It's all one big joke. So
Yep.
it'd be really fun to beat that fan base, especially after how 2017 played out and then watching them win the Super Bowl at US Bank Stadium. Would be pretty sweet, especially with the high hopes of both teams. Like this is a big game. I know it's early in the season, but both teams are predicted to do well this year, and both teams have potential, to go far in the playoffs, especially with the wide open NFC. So it's gonna be fun. It'd be a good game. I don't know. Going into the year, I could see it going either way. After the way Week 1 unfolded, I'm just super excited to watch it. So
Yeah, I'm pretty pumped that they're actually getting this game out of the way early in the schedule as well. Looking at it from a whole, this is probably one of our toughest games on the schedule this year. Buffalo is probably another one, but I would rather, I think, play in Philly early in the year before it gets cold out in November. So I'm glad that we can get this one out of the way.
Yeah, this in Buffalo, maybe Miami, but yeah, it looks like some of the toughest games on the schedule. So should be a fun one, a good test. See where the squad's at after that Monday night game coming up here. So we wanted to break out a couple of stats. Everybody loves some good numbers and stats, and Tanner is full of them. If you don't know Tanner, we're going to throw out some Tanner tidbits for you guys today, and I think he's got like a handful of them. So Tanner, what do you got for us? What's number one?
I do. So Kirk Cousins is 201 yards away from cracking the top 40 all-time passing yards list.
All time.
He has been in the league for a while, but it just does seem crazy to me that he is already, I guess, that far up there. So yeah, he's passing guys like Tony Romo and stuff already, who are pretty good quarterbacks. So
yeah, so he should get that Monday night then, 201.
Yeah, I believe he definitely should. So Dalvin Cook is in line for a potential milestone night on Monday as well. He needs 91 yards to eclipse 5,000 for his career, and also just needs 2 rushing touchdowns to pass Ted Brown for third on the Vikings all-time rushing list. So he's quickly moving his way up the charts as well. Adam Thielen only needs one touchdown to reach 50 for his career. He is one guy on the team that has historically played very well against the Eagles. So I'm assuming Darius Slay is probably going to be shadowing Justin Jefferson for a majority of the game.
Trying to
shadow him, but that should open up the lines quite a bit for Adam. He was pretty quiet week one against the Packers, which is fine. You got guys like JJ going off, you got to feed him the ball. So Jalen Hurts, this is going to be his first career game against the Vikings. He has a 10-11 career record, but he's just 4-5 at home. So not a great home record. That's pretty encouraging for us. Kirk Cousins is 6-3 all time against the Eagles, 3-2 in Philly. This is one team that he has actually played well against, very well historically, going all the way back to his Washington days. He's played great. He's thrown for 306 yards a game, 21 touchdowns as to just 6 interceptions, and 105.4 QB rating. So hopefully somebody steps forward and decides to take that Zach Brown spot again and talk some trash, and he's going to end up being cut on Tuesday morning. So the Vikings are 30-32 all time on Monday Night Football, but just 13-24 on the road. This is probably my favorite stat of the week. The last time they beat a team on the road on Monday night, not named the Bears, was 2008. So it's been a long time. Gus Frerotte was actually the Vikings quarterback at that time.
2008. Wow. Okay.
And Kirk Cousins is 10-17 in his career in primetime games, but just 2-9 on Monday Night Football. But as of late, I think he's been playing pretty well against the Bears.
I feel like he won the last two. I think he was 0-9, and that was the big storyline on ESPN, like every headline. So okay.
And then my last one here is the Vikings have always stayed very competitive with the Eagles. It's always been a pretty even split. They're 15-14 all time against the Eagles. And 7-11 in Philadelphia.
Okay. Those are your Tanner tidbits for the week. Use those, everybody, and make your friends feel like you're smarter than maybe maybe you really are. Awesome. Moving on to the Eagles game. Looking at the injury report, both teams pretty healthy. I think Lucine's supposed to make his Vikings debut this weekend. Booth might be questionable. And what did they have on their side, Tanner? They had what? One guy's out for the year. Yeah.
Not a lot of injuries on their active report, but they did lose their pass rusher, Derek Barnett, on Sunday to a torn ACL. So he's out for the year. That's a pretty big loss for them. Just thought Brandon Graham has always been consistently productive throughout his career, but I think having Derek Barnett out is a pretty big loss. And Christian Darrisaw played very well week one, so they might struggle to get some pressure on Kirk Cousins unless they can find a way to disguise some blitzes.
Yeah. So both teams pretty healthy. Looking at the box score from the Eagles-Lions last week, the final score was 38-35. Eagles prevailed. Game wasn't all that close. Looked like the Lions had scored a couple touchdowns in the fourth to make it appear closer than it really was. Hurts 18 for 32, 243 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. But he had a good game on the ground, 17 rushes for 90 yards, averaging like over 5 yards a carry. He had a rushing touchdown. Miles Sanders, another 96 yards on the ground, averaging 7.4 yards per carry. He had a touchdown as well. Looks like they had a lot of rushing touchdowns, and then AJ Brown, 155 yards on 10 receptions, so 15.5 yards per catch. So I don't know. Yeah, it feels like I don't know if you remember on Monday's episode, nitpicking a little bit on the rush gate. Like rush D that was kind of one of my things to watch out for. I am concerned with, like, will we be able to contain him? Old Vikings would have struggled. New regime, have no idea how they're going to play that, but that would be my concern going into this game. Not really concerned about Hurts as a passer. I actually think we could, maybe get him to turn the ball over a little bit, but I could see the rushing attack from Philadelphia being a problem for us all night.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. That's probably going to be my biggest concern as well. Philadelphia actually bolstered their passing game up in the offseason, adding AJ Brown, who had a huge week one. And Devontae Smith actually wasn't that involved, which is really surprising. But yeah, I don't expect their passing game to be a huge threat. Vikings played very well in week one. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers doesn't have Devontae Adams anymore, but Philadelphia is known for having one of the best offensive lines in the league. So I don't know if drawing up pressure is going to be a problem or not. I would think that we'd still be able to get some pressure with Danielle Hunter and Zadarius Smith, but the run game is definitely the biggest concern. They're gonna be competitive in that category all year long. So we'll see what happens. I don't know what the defensive coordinators got lined up to take care of that, but if we fall down in a hurry, it's definitely going to be because we can't stop the run. So
yeah. It feels like a big delving game. I saw DeAndre Swift, 144 yards, averaging 9.6 yards a carry, had a touchdown last week against the Eagles. So didn't watch back the game. I don't know if that was just a product of a couple of big ones or if he was gashing them pretty good, but feels like, I don't know, just feels like a Delvin Cook type of game to me. And there'll be a lot of focus on Jefferson, obviously, with week one, and hopefully that opens up some of the rushing game. So
absolutely.
What are you seeing, Tanner, if we look ahead to the game? Like, what are we going to be complete? We did this last week too, and luckily none of it really came to fruition. But what are we going to be complaining about? Tuesday morning, we're back at the office. The game does not go well, and maybe we don't come out ahead. What are we going to be complaining about? What's your concern there?
Probably not finding ways to draw up pressure on Jalen Hurts. He has always been a QB, even back to his college days, that if you can get him flustered, he's going to make mistakes. And there's no reason that we shouldn't be able to do that. I think we have a lot of talent to be able to get in his head in a hurry. And I think if they do lose, it's going to be because they're not getting in his head and he's running rampant on the defense. So
I feel like it's going to be you nailed it on the head, that for sure. Maybe some penalties or turnovers. We had a pretty clean week one. We only were penalized 2 times for 10 yards, 3 times for 20 yards, which is not many. And then the Eagles actually had 10 penalties for 61 yards. So if we stay clean, that's good. I could see us though having some problems with communication and, the crowd noise and all that, maybe. And then turning the ball over. We did not turn it over at all last week, which obviously the Packers did. So hostile environment. Yeah, either rush D or maybe some dumb mistakes, turnovers or penalties. I could see being our complaint next Tuesday, but hopefully like week one, we don't even have to worry about this stuff, but I think maybe we're seeing things pretty well eye to eye on that. So looking ahead to the game again, Tanner, let's get into some predictions here. Last week we did our bold predictions.
It's the best part.
That is fun. I don't think we're going to bat a high average on this because we are trying to be bold on it. But what's your bold prediction week 2, Monday night, Philadelphia?
My bold prediction is that Jalen Reagor, who people, if you don't know, did play for Philadelphia last year. They did select him before Justin Jefferson 2 years ago in the draft.
One spot ahead of JJ, right?
Yes. So great reminder. I think O'Connell is going to find a way to get him implemented into the offense this week. And one way or another, a punt return, jet sweep, he's going to score. He's going to score a touchdown against his former team. So
that is bold. Some might even call that reckless, but I'll definitely give you bold on that one. So
it's going to happen. Mark it down. Write this down.
I'm going to go with I feel like the Eagles are going to put up a lot of yards against us, but I also think it's going to be a crazy game, and I think there's going to be some mistakes made probably by both teams. And I feel like defensively we're going to get a scoop and score, or a pick six, or some defensive or special team score. So not an offensive score. I think we're going to get a touchdown one way or another.
Let me take that one step further. Who's it going to be? Who's going to score the touchdown? You got like Harrison Phillips doing a Kevin Williams, scoop and score, running 90 yards, or Linville, he did it a couple of years ago in Philly.
If we're going extra bold, I'm gonna say Eric Kendricks.
Okay.
But I'm just gonna stick with a defensive or special team score. How's that?
Okay, that sounds good.
Let's go predictions for the score. Now, I want to remind our viewers, predict the score yourself. Enter before the game starts Tuesday night, 7:30 kick time. If you get it right, we're going to throw your name in the hat for a drawing for those 2 Jets tickets on December 4th. So you can predict right along with us, guys. Tanner, what do you got?
I got a lower scoring game this week for the Vikings offense. I think they're going to find ways to consistently move the ball, but maybe not get into the end zone as much this week. I did mark this on the schedule before the season started as a loss. I don't like playing in Philly. I think the Vikings have actually won their last 2 games there as well. So I'm going to mark this one up as a loss. I'm going to go 24-16 Eagles.
Would you be shocked either way?
No.
If we win? Okay. I would say same mentality there. I think going through the schedule, I told you in the prediction show, had us between 11 and 13 wins. If I got us to 13, I had this as a win. It's a tough game. When we watch it, obviously you're gonna get caught up in the moment and be disappointed if we don't come out on top, but it is a tough game. So never too high, never too low. I'm gonna actually, after what I saw week 1, I'm gonna say we find a way to win this game. Probably on that defensive score or special teams, which helps us along the way. Maybe it's Jalen Reagor on a punt return, who knows? But I'm going to say it's going to be close. It's going to come down to the wire. I'm going to say 29-28 purple, and weird number, weird score, but I think it's close one way or another. And if we don't come out on top, if we play well, I think we still have a lot of reason to be optimistic going forward. So
a 1-point game, is that like a field goal to win, or
I could see stopping
them on the last drive?
I could see like 4th and long and Hurts has to make a throw, and I don't know. I think it's going to be tight. I think it's going to be real close. So,
okay. All right.
So yeah, that wraps us up for today. A couple of Purple Mortgage guys. We obviously would love to help you out with the home loan. So if we can help you out with that, along with talking some Vikings purple, Tanner and I would love to do that for you. Reminder to enter for the drawing on the predictions. We're going to do this all the way through the Patriots game and then do a drawing for a winner on that. So good luck to everybody. Tanner, any final thoughts on the game?
Nope. Should be a fun one. It's a good way to kick off the year and kind of get an idea of what this team's all about.
Awesome. Well, that wraps us up for Purple Fridays. We'll see you guys again after the game, probably Tuesday morning. Have a great weekend, everybody.